talking about what he believes the potential of Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders is at the NFL level.
More questions of what's the maximum potential, where is this player at currently? There's a ton of opportunity and potential that the kid has. And there's been tons of players that have been drafted in the later rounds who teams have questions about that end up panning out. And a lot of that comes down to the intangibles. A lot of that comes down to, does he just have this it factor? Everybody, that's what everybody's kind of waiting to see. Like
Jason Kelce just went full prophet mode and fired off a warning so sharp it could slice through Cleveland's fragile confidence like butter. He didn't just speak, he declared. The man basically dropped an NFL revelation, calling out the Browns owner over the Shedeur Sanders mess like he was preaching from a football mountaintop. This wasn't your usual locker room banter. It was straight up doomsday talk for Cleveland fans, and it hit harder than a blindside tackle.
But what do you mean, coach? From a fan's perspective, I'm trying to see him shake. I want to see 12 go out there and sling it. He's the showman when he plays. It's so fun to want to root for that. It's fun to imagine what it would look like if they let 12 go out there and shake it, man. Give the people what they want. Give them the keys.
Well, we're not going to see it. We're going to see.
When Jason Kelce speaks, the league doesn't just listen, it panics. The guy's voice carries the weight of a Hall of Fame resume and the confidence of a man who's seen too many teams implode before breakfast. From pancaking defenders to verbally body-slamming billionaires, Kelce's evolution has been wild. And that beard, it gives every word this mystical Moses parting the Lake Erie energy that just makes people pay attention.
Times in practice drills, the number one defense can't stop them. People take notice of that, and the more that the players see it, then the comments start happening over the lunch table. They start happening throughout the building, and that's when the pressure really will get severe.
Shedeur, you mentioned, what do they have next year in the draft?
2 first-round draft picks, their own pick and Jacksonville's pick.
It's got to play into it.
So when he looked toward Cleveland and basically said, hey, maybe don't screw this up, everyone should have taken notes. But the Browns, nah, they did what they do best, self-destruct on camera. Instead of cooling down and processing the message, they exploded like a soda can in the sun. The meltdown was pure art, loud, messy, and oh so Cleveland. You'd think they were competing for a drama award, not a playoff spot. And the owner? Oh, he didn't take the calm route. No chance. Dude went full Thanksgiving meltdown mode, pounding the table, face red, practically daring anyone to challenge him.
At the end of the day, he's been successful everywhere he's been. He's had throwing accuracy. Like, none of that stuff teams can avoid accepting. But they will find all these other little things to say, like, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. There's guys like Tim Tebow had a lot of stuff in college too, and he didn't pan out in the NFL. I'm like, they're looking to find these little things that cause them to have concern about why you might not pan out the next level.
One simple warning from Kelsey turned into a full-scale tantrum, like watching a millionaire throw a fit because the truth hurt too much. The way Cleveland spiraled after that, you'd swear this was less football and more a soap opera with shoulder pads. And just like that, Cleveland turned a harmless caution sign into a full-blown nuclear feud hotter than the grill outside the dog pound on game day. What started as Jason Kelce offering a heads up,
you guys, there's things you really can't do on the road versus a good football team and expect to win. And certainly giving the ball away, giving up a touchdown on a punt play, those are really, really tough to overcome, again, versus a good team. So we have to learn from some of these lessons, and we have to play better as a football team if you expect to win those games. So we'll learn from it, and then we'll got to have a good week of practice, obviously, heading out Wednesday evening for our game this Sunday, but it'll be still a good work week for us.
Turned into an all-out inferno that had fans, players, and even ex-coaches jumping into the chaos. And let's be clear, Kelsey didn't mention anything quietly. He announced it like a tornado siren tearing through Ohio. This wasn't gossip, it was gospel with shoulder pads. The Browns thought their biggest PR crisis this year would be explaining Deshaun Watson's paycheck without bursting into nervous laughter. But nope, the real nightmare arrived in the form of a retired lineman living his best dad life, rolling into the scene like Gandalf the Gridiron, and declaring that dark clouds were forming over Cleveland. And the way he said it, calm, confident, terrifyingly accurate.
Been keeping up with Shedeur in Cleveland. What's the best piece of advice you've given him as a dad and as a coach?
Be patient and be ready. You got to be ready when it's time. But when it's time, you're going to know. And it's coming up.
There we go.
You know, I got a prediction. I ain't telling nobody. I got a feeling when it's going to go down. But it's going to go down this year.
It's going to happen. All right.
Yeah, he can get a shot.
And that's all you can ask for as a player. All you can ask for is the opportunity, right?
Tell me this, because this was all over the media.
Now the team split straight down the middle. One camp sees Shedeur Sanders as the guy, the golden ticket to finally end decades of heartbreak. The other, they can't stop clowning him for that one brutal sack, the one so massive people joke NASA could still be tracking it. That single 24-yard disaster went viral faster than a meme, with half the internet screaming, "bad coaching," while the rest laughed their heads off, saying Cleveland never learns. And there, in the eye of the storm, stood Jason Kelce, chilling, smirking, beer in hand, watching his words turn into prophecy. Every second that passed made his warning sound less like a hot take and more like an NFL omen. Because deep down, this was never just about Shedeur. It was about the Browns doing what the Browns always do.
Was on the sideline watching Dillon Gabriel come into the game. Obviously, he's very dejected. But you know what? This is your fault. And you know why this is Shedeur's fault? Because when they said that Shedeur turned down the opportunity to play behind Lamar Jackson, now you got to sit behind 3 quarterbacks. You're never getting in as a Cleveland Brown. But he'd have got in today. Had Shedeur went to the Ravens, he probably would have played today against Patrick Mahomes. Once Lamar went down with his injury, he probably would have got in instead of Cooper Rush.
Any other fan base would have laughed it off and moved on. But in Cleveland, they turn warnings into wars. But not in Cleveland. No way. Cleveland treats every outside opinion like it's a full-blown cosmic attack on their very soul. This is a city haunted by football ghosts, by fumbles so cursed they're still whispered about in dive bars like bedtime horror stories. This fan base has watched quarterbacks come and go faster than TikTok trends and lived through enough heartbreak to make therapists hand out loyalty punch cards after every Sunday meltdown. So when Jason Kelce stood up and practically declared, "Cleveland, you're doomed," it wasn't just sports talk, it was throwing salt on open wounds that never healed. The fans didn't take that sitting down, they exploded. It was rage on a mythic level, chest-thumping, keyboard-smashing fury that screamed, "How dare you say out loud what we all secretly know?" The meltdown wasn't just emotional, it was spiritual chaos, like the city's pride went up in flames overnight. Cleveland has always been pure madness wrapped in a football helmet.
The hell isn't he putting Shedeur Sanders? We're all waiting to see the Shedeur Sanders be the guy or Gabriel, whatever. Something's missing. Something's missing with this kid. This kid talks. He runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback.
And somehow, Jason Kelce managed to rip off the rapping in a single sentence. What he said wasn't even cruel. It was common sense dressed like a prophecy. Hey, maybe try not to drive straight into the ditch again this year. But instead of nodding and saying, "Fair point," the Browns owner stomped around like a toddler denied ice cream. Furious, red-faced, and making the whole meltdown a national headline. Cameras rolled, fans cringed, and the rest of the league just shook their heads. And it doesn't stop there, because behind this storm is the ghost of how they've handled Shedeur Sanders. If Cleveland has a tradition, it's turning potential talent into weekly tabloid material. They gave Joe Flacco all the time, all the reps, made him look halfway decent again, and then coddled Dillon Gabriel like he was the next big thing.
Shedeur Sanders in there with the lowest cab drivers you couldn't even get on 5th Street. And I'm pissed off, bro, because the play calling was abysmal. Look, even if you don't like Shedeur didn't even get a chance to be trash. Even if you think Shedeur is garbage, he didn't even get a chance to be garbage. That's how awful the offensive line was. Kevin Stefanski still doesn't want to give Shedeur second strings and first strings reps. Why is that? Now, what's more horrible about this game was it was to the point on every single snap.
Meanwhile, Shedeur, the supposed future, he's left watching the circus unfold from the sidelines while the front office lights another match. So when Shedeur took that ridiculous sack, yeah, that one, the question is, was it really all his fault? The kid brings electricity to a stadium that's been living in blackout mode for decades. He's got that spark, that swagger, that something Cleveland's been praying for since dial-up internet was still a thing. But after that play, he sat there on the bench, chewing gum like it owed him rent. Eyes glazed over like he just realized he signed a lifetime lease with misery itself. The look said it all. Pure disbelief, wrapped in Brown's brown. But let's not get it twisted. Jason Kelce isn't just some retired dude talking reckless from a couch. He's a legend. The older half of America's favorite brother duo, a man who went from bulldozing defensive tackles to breaking the internet every time he opens his mouth on a podcast. When Kelsey talks, the NFL listens. Everyone except Cleveland, of course, where listening feels like optional homework. You already know you're failing. And that's the sad part. He wasn't even trying to start drama. Kelsey doesn't need this smoke. He's retired, grilling burgers in the backyard, tossing his kids in the pool, sipping something cold while Cleveland's front office runs in circles like they're trapped in their own tornado. All he did was drop a casual warning, but the Browns, they blew it up into a full-scale feud that ESPN couldn't stop replaying. The owner's meltdown didn't fix a thing. It just confirmed every single stereotype fans already believed about this franchise. And that's the beauty of it. Jason Kelce didn't destroy the Browns. They did it to themselves. The wildest part, he'll probably forget he even said it.
I'm not gonna say meaningful. We've already spoken like 3 times a day. We just got off the phone joking and clowning like crazy. But he's so prepared right now. A lot of people are approaching it like a preseason game. He's approaching it like a game. And that's how he's always approached everything, to prepare and to approach it like this is it. I just can't wait to see him get down tonight. But it's going to be a little weird. It's going to be a little strange. It's going to be a problem after the night, dog.
Meanwhile, back in Cleveland, executives are pacing around boardrooms, drafting statements, calling emergency meetings, panicking like his words were carved onto stone tablets straight from Mount Sinai. That's the difference right there. Kelsey lights one little match and walks away calm as ever, while Cleveland's too busy dousing themselves in gasoline, wondering why everything's still on fire. And if you think this whole fiasco is just about football, think again. This isn't a game anymore. It's full-blown theater, a soap opera wrapped in shoulder pads, broadcast live every Sunday for the world to see.
Backup quarterback has officially been named for the Cleveland Browns. Kevin Stefanski says it's Dillon, Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders will be the 3. Let's talk about why this is. Well, first of all, the Cleveland Browns clearly evaluated Dillon Gabriel ahead of Shedeur Sanders back to the NFL draft when they took Gabriel in the 3rd round and Shedeur in the 5th. However, both rookies had moments in the preseason where they showed flashes of greatness and flashes of, well, they're clearly rookie quarterbacks. Shedeur Sanders in his debut, 2 pinpoint accurate touchdown passes.
The Browns have somehow made themselves the main characters in a drama no one asked for. But everyone can't stop watching, because let's be real, conflict sells, chaos trends, and Cleveland's serving it by the gallon. While the Browns are screaming about being disrespected, the rest of the NFL is howling with laughter. Steelers fans are printing memes like trophies. Ravens fans are buying popcorn in bulk, ready for the next meltdown. And Philly fans, they're sitting back in pure satisfaction, watching their guy Jason Kelce accidentally become the narrator of Cleveland's self-destruction. The irony is unreal. Kelsey said one thing, and the Browns did the rest all on their own. And the wildest part? Cleveland could have shut all of this down the simplest way possible, by winning. That's it. But instead, they've managed to turn every snap, every interview, every minor hiccup into headline material. Shedeur Sanders isn't just being judged for his arm strength or his reads anymore. Nah, he's being graded on parking tickets, ankle tweaks, and whether he breathes too loud at practice. In Cleveland, nothing's just football. It's a full-blown referendum on character, destiny, and whether the city might riot next Sunday. So what happens next? The same thing that always happens. Cleveland will overreact, fans will spiral, the owner will fume, and Jason Kelce's prophecy will just echo louder with every stumble. The cruel punchline? He doesn't even need to say another word. His warning has already branded itself onto their season like a scarlet letter burned into the franchise. The Browns thought they clapped back, but in reality, they handed Jason Kelce the biggest "we told you so" in NFL history before the season even began. And here's the funniest part. Jason Kelsey's probably already forgotten about the whole thing. The man dropped his take, went back to grilling in the backyard, and hasn't thought twice. But here's the real kicker. His warning wasn't even groundbreaking. Anyone who's watched the Browns for more than 15 minutes could have said the same thing.
What I'm saying is, if this kid is the dog and the motivated individual, he's got a lot of attributes that lead themselves to being great at the next level.
Yeah.
And he's in a situation now that, he's going to get a chance to compete.
This is the same franchise that once turned its quarterback depth chart into a CVS receipt. Names stacked on names, week after week, until even Madden had to update its memory just to keep up. It's not prophecy. It's pure pattern recognition. But when it comes out of Kelsey's mouth, it suddenly sounds like divine law carved straight into stone. And sure enough, Cleveland's sticking right to the script. Step 1, hype. Step 2, denial. Step 3, chaos. The losses pile up, fingers start pointing, and before you know it, the whole operation collapses faster than a folding chair at a backyard barbecue. Every year, it's the same tragic comedy, just with a new face in the center of the storm. This year, that poor soul is Shedeur Sanders. And make no mistake, he's not walking into a golden opportunity. He's stepping into a haunted house where every ghost wears a Browns jersey and whispers, "We could have been great." The fans want him to be the savior, the one who finally breaks the curse. But the coaches, they're treating him like an intern fetching coffee for the veterans. It's chaos disguised as mentorship, and everyone's pretending it's all part of some genius plan. Meanwhile, Jason Kelce, he just tossed a verbal flare into the hurricane and walked away, whistling. The entire AFC North's been feasting on the fallout like it's free Costco samples. Steelers fans are writing poems about Cleveland's pain. Ravens fans have a group chat called Browns Being Browns Season 100. And even Bengals fans, who have their own set of demons, are sitting back, popcorn in hand, enjoying the show. Cleveland's not just a team anymore, they're a full-blown entertainment package for the rest of the division. But here's the irony that nobody wants to face. Shedeur Sanders might actually be good. You can see flashes of brilliance when he steps on that field. But instead of nurturing it, the Browns are too busy turning him into the next headline, while everyone else just laughs and watches the prophecy unfold. Instead, Shedeur's stuck playing behind an offensive line that couldn't protect a sandwich from a hungry toddler.
In a way that we may have found a diamond in the rough. Let's give him every opportunity to be the starter so we can build a team around him with 2 first-round picks next year. But that's not how Kevin Stefanski sees him. That's not how Andrew Berry sees him. The Cleveland Browns organization sees him. They see him as a 5th-round pick. So he got the reps that 5th-round picks get. They see him as a player that's a developmental player. So he played alongside other players that are developing. When you're Shedeur Sanders, you have to do what Russell Wilson was able to do the same year Matt Flynn was acquired by the Seattle Seahawks. You have to show so far above and beyond that you deserve to be on the field that they can't keep.
The poor guy's running for his life while the cameras zoom in like it's a nature documentary about endangered quarterbacks. And don't even get started on the media. Every single mistake he makes gets looped before he's even back on the bench. That infamous 24-yard sack, people break it down like it's the Zapruder film, frame by frame, searching for some grand conspiracy. Forget that the line collapsed faster than a sandcastle in a hurricane. Nah, just blame Shedeur. It's almost like Jason Kelce cursed the Browns without even trying. You can picture him somewhere in a rocking chair, beer in hand, laughing at the chaos he accidentally unleashed. He doesn't even need to keep talking. The Browns are proving him right all by themselves. Every week, another meltdown, another bad headline, another "here we go again" moment that makes his warning look more prophetic by the second. The harder Cleveland fights back, the more they validate every single word he said. And then there's the owner. Oh, the owner. Billionaire rage fits are a whole different type of entertainment. Watching him explode over Kelsey's comments was like watching someone rage quit Monopoly after losing Boardwalk to a kid. Instead of ignoring the noise, instead of acting like it didn't matter, he gave the league exactly what it wanted: drama. He turned a passing comment into national news, confirming every suspicion that Cleveland's front office might just be as insecure and volatile as people always joked. And once that cat's out of the bag, there's no stuffing it back in. The irony? Jason Kelce's already moved on. He's living his best retired life, podcasting, laughing with his brother, maybe hosting a beer-chugging contest or popping up in another random TV cameo. Meanwhile, Cleveland's over here shadowboxing an invisible villain made entirely out of Kelsey's words. Every press conference, every sideline interview, someone brings it up, and each time they do, the ghost of Jason Kelce's warning just laughs louder in the background. And now, the Browns can't escape it. Every headline, every meme, every post-game breakdown somehow circles right back to Jason Kelce's so-called prophecy. It's like his words got branded into their playbook. No matter what they do, they can't shake the curse. The coaches look stressed, the players look drained, and the fans, they're spiraling between blind hope and full-blown meltdown mode. Cleveland's not just playing football anymore, they're living inside a psychological thriller where every loss feels scripted and every mistake feels cosmic. Shedeur Sanders, poor guy, can't even take a breath without someone dissecting it like it's a clue to the team's downfall. One off throw, he's the problem. A perfect pass, he's hiding something. The man's living under a microscope, and every flash of brilliance just gets drowned out by the noise. It's like he's stuck in an endless rerun of Browns being Browns, and the punchline never changes. Meanwhile, Jason Kelce's name keeps trending without him lifting a finger. Every week the Browns stumble, his face pops up on screen again, smiling like some football oracle who called it all from day one. He's the villain, the prophet, and the accidental puppet master of Cleveland's chaos, all rolled into one bearded legend. It's poetic and tragic all at once, like fate itself is trolling the franchise. And what's even crazier, the rest of the league can't get enough. Fans from every rival team are tuning in not to see touchdowns, but to watch the implosion unfold in real time. It's NFL reality TV at its finest. The Browns wanted respect, but somehow they turned themselves into the main attraction of football's biggest circus. At this point, Kelsey doesn't even need to talk anymore. His silence is louder than any rant. The prophecy's alive, the meltdown's ongoing, and Cleveland's still standing in the flames, wondering how it all went wrong. Every new week feels like another chapter in a story they swore they wouldn't repeat, yet somehow always do. And the Browns will keep swinging wildly, like a boxer who can't stop fighting his own reflection. The longer this circus drags on, the worse it gets for Shedeur Sanders because, let's be real, at some point, the fans always turn. It starts with cautious hope, that soft, maybe this time it's different energy, but it never lasts. That hope curdles into frustration, then boils into pure, unstoppable rage. And when that rage finds a target, it locks on like a missile. If Shedeur doesn't pull off miracles every single week, he's gonna be the next scapegoat. Another name added to Cleveland's ever-growing list of almosts. And the saddest part, every single one of those warning signs Jason Kelce mentioned, they're already playing out in real time. The prophecy wasn't just spoken. It's being lived out every Sunday in front of millions. Some franchises build dynasties. Cleveland builds drama. They're not chasing championships, they're chasing content. Every blown lead, every sideline argument, every meltdown turns into instant viral gold. They've become the league's most reliable source of chaos, and they're weirdly good at it. Jason Kelce didn't curse them, he handed them the script. And like true professionals of dysfunction, the Browns are performing it flawlessly, scene by scene, heartbreak by heartbreak. It's almost tragic how predictable it's become. You could set your watch by their collapses. The fans will cry betrayal, the media will pile on, and by the end, Shedeur will be left holding the bag for a system that never gave him a real chance. Jason Kelce might be miles away, sipping his beer and laughing, but his words hit harder every week because deep down, Cleveland's not cursed. They're committed to their chaos. Now, I can't wait to hear what you think about all this madness. Do you believe Jason Kelce really predicted the Browns' downfall, or are they just writing their own disaster story again? Drop your thoughts below, and if you made it to this point in the video, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you on the next one.